What's going on, everybody? Lewis here from Pickleball Pursuit, and today I'll be partnering with pickleball.com to bring you what I believe are the 5 best foam paddles that you can buy today. Let's go check in the bag and see what comes in at number 5. Number 5, the Carbon TrueFoam Genesis 4 Hybrid Shape Paddle. The Carbon TrueFoam Genesis 4 is Carbon's hybrid shape paddle, 14 millimeters in thickness, 100% foam core with voids and a square fiberglass patch on the sweet spot. This is going to tiptoe the line of all court and power, but it will be plenty sufficient for just about all pickleball players. Now with that EPP foam core and voids, you are going to get elite shot shaping ability. This paddle really is almost second to none in that playing category. It also is very maneuverable and has a above average size sweet spot, but with that fiberglass patch on the sweet spot, it becomes a little bit unpredictable at times when you just miss the center of the paddle. But this is alleviated with some perimeter weight, which I think is a must with this paddle. This paddle retails at $280, but you can use the affiliate link in the description to bring the price down to $252 when purchasing at Pickleball Central. Now, the only cons that I can really say with this paddle is the sweet spot and face reactivity is not the most consistent, and the handle length, although it is a 5.3-inch handle, it's sufficient enough, but I just wish it was a tiny bit longer. However, I think this is a fantastic paddle. Let's go check out and see what is number 4 on the list. Number 4, the Body Helix Flick F1 TerraCore XC. This Flick F1 TerraCore is a 16mm elongated shape paddle. Obviously it has a foam core and it does have voids throughout the entire core itself with a square sheet of fiberglass similar to what we've seen from the Carbon TrueFoams. Now this is the elite of elites for legal firepower. This is the poppiest paddle that I've ever tested that passed USAP approval and also has some of the most power on drives, serves, and putaways. Pairing that with elite spin, this is an exceptional paddle if you are a firepower driven player. Now, because of that elite firepower, this is going to be the most challenging paddle to control on shots like dinks, drops, and resets, but just know with some time it will get easier, but I would say this is definitely a paddle geared towards the 4 or 5 plus players. This is also one of the more maneuverable elongated shape paddles that I've tested, but with that lower swing weight and twist weight, you will absolutely need to add perimeter weight to this paddle to shore up the stability, forgiveness, and overall sweet spot size of this paddle. Now this paddle retails at $190, but you can utilize code Pursuit to bring that price down to $171. This is a phenomenal paddle, but with the 5.3-inch handle, which is a little too short for me and most people for two-handed backhands, as well as its very challenging controllability and slightly less stable and forgiving stock playability, I think those are really the only cons with this paddle, which is why it slips to number 4 on this list. Let's go in the bag and see what comes in at number 3. Number 3, the Selkirk Labs Project Boomstick. The Selkirk Labs Project Boomstick is an incredible paddle coming in at number 3 on the list. This is a 16mm paddle, features the boom core, which is just a floating EPP core, has the MOI tuning system, making it one of the best playing stock paddles out of the box, and it has their proprietary Infinigrit texture, which in their testing and research has shown to last 3 times longer than traditional peel plies. In addition to all that, they have flawless shapes with the elongated as well as the wide body, nice long handles, and these paddles are just very good in terms of playability. The boomsticks are going to be slightly less powerful and poppy compared to the Flick F1 TerraCore, but this paddle is elite in terms of firepower. Because of this huge firepower, they are a little tricky to dial in your control-oriented shots, but these are easier to dial in compared to the Flick F1 TerraCore. This also has a very, very big sweet spot, one of the best sweet spots of any elongated shape paddle that I've ever tested, which makes it a more stable and forgiving and enjoyable playing experience. Now these paddles retail at $333. You can use promo code INF-Pursuit to receive a $33 digital gift card from Selkirk, which makes this still the most expensive paddle on the list. But in theory, this should absolutely be much more durable than all the paddles on the list. And pair that with Selkirk's excellent lifetime warranty, you should rest easy when purchasing this expensive of a paddle. Now, apart from that huge price, these paddles don't have a ton of flaws. The only flaw I would say is it's not the most stable, most well-rounded, and easy paddle to play with because it is challenging to control. Let's go in the bag and check out and see what beats this Selkirk Boomstick in the number 2 spot. Number 2, the Gearbox GX2 Power Hybrid Shape. The Gearbox GX2 Power Hybrid is an incredible paddle. 16 millimeters, it's a carbon rib core filled with foam, so it's not technically a 100% foam core. It's kind of in its class of its own, but I felt that this fit perfectly on this list because it's not a traditional polypropylene core. With this core, you can expect insane dwell time, great spin, mid-tier power, just under paddles like the Yola Pro 4, and it is a very poppy paddle, but has a very linear power curve, making it quite easy to control and dial in all those control-oriented shots. Now, this paddle gets great spin. I would say it's just under the elite tiers. It's not the grittiest paddle, but the incredible amount of dwell time makes it very easy to shape the ball. Now, you're gonna need a little bit of perimeter weight on the side of this paddle to make it a little bit more stable, forgiving, and increase the sweet spot size. Just know this is an incredibly balanced paddle in terms of power and control. One of the best in the entire market, which is why it comes in at number 2 on this list. Coming in at $280, you can use the link in the description to save some money, bringing the price down to $252 when purchasing on Pickleball Central. There really aren't many cons that I can say about this paddle. There is a slight break-in period, but other than that, the only negative thing I can say is the 5.3-inch handle is just a tiny bit shorter than what is number 1 on this list, which is a slightly more all-around paddle. Let's go in the bag and see what lands the number 1 spot. Number 1, the Honolulu Pickleball Company J2NF Long Handle Paddle. Number 1, obviously, the J2NF. If you've ever watched my channel, you know that this paddle is elite. The most balanced power paddle that has ever hit the market, in my personal opinion and testing. Mid-tier power and pop, very linear and predictable power curve, making it pretty easy to control, and has elite spin, a massive sweet spot, and great stability and forgiveness. Pairing that with their new long handle at 5.7 inches makes this one of the best hybrid shapes that I have ever put in my hands. Now, in terms of power and pop, it's gonna sit just under paddles like the Yola Pro 4, but higher than the PaddleTech 14.3 millimeter Bantam series. Now, at $171 after promo code Pursuit10, these are tied with the Flick F1 TerraCore as the cheapest paddles on this list. This is an incredible paddle. There are a few things that people may not like about it. Number 1 and most obvious is it's not the best looking paddle on this list, in my opinion. I think a lot of people have said that they don't love the look of these paddles. Secondly, there is a middle layer of fiberglass in the face layup, which gives it a slightly stiffer feel than most foam paddles, which some may not like. If you're one of these people, I would say just go for the J2 FC Plus long handle version, which plays very similar to this, slightly less pop and a softer, more dwelly feel. Apart from that, there's really nothing negative I can say about this paddle, which is why it lands at the number 1 spot for best foam paddles. I hope you enjoyed this review of the top 5 foam paddles available on the market right now. As you know, paddles come out all the time, so if you'd like to stay up to date on all the latest releases and see how they stack up to the best on the market, you can subscribe to my channel, Pickleball Pursuit, where I do a weekly podcast diving deep into all these latest releases, as well as reviewing these paddles. Until the next review, I'm Lewis with Pickleball Pursuit, partnering with Pickleball.com, and I'll see you guys soon.